Alright, good morning and welcome back to Gun Bunny Customs, and today we're going to be doing part 2 of our series in turning the G.I. Joe classified Dragonfly Haslab figures into Tiger Force, right? We're going to Tiger Force these figures up. Now, in the first episode, we kind of go over strategy, the premise of this project, what's going on with it, and then we broke them down, and then we started painting Wild Bill. Now, Wild Bill is done, not completely done, but his Tiger Force pattern is on his flight suit, and we used the classic yellow stripes. And the reason that I did that is obviously it gives it the quintessential Tiger Force look, but it's also very reminiscent of the Jinx and Felino Tiger Force figures that were, released in the past. Another thing I did was remember these straps and pouch holder was black, and we wanted to make it yellow to match his Tiger Force figure reference photos. And so I laid down a white primer on top of that black. I used Yeti white, which was kind of a light yellowish white, and that was enough to subdue the black in order to put the yellow on top. I did a couple of passes. I might do one more just to really make it nice and opaque and brighten it up. But that's the progress we've gotten on Wild Bill so far. So it took a couple of days to paint all these stripes because I had to do them twice because of the yellow needed 2 passes. I've also painted the diamond quilted pattern portion of Crazy Legs. This it is, what is it? It's gory red from, hold on, get it straight. Gory red from Vallejo. And I really do like Vallejo game colors and air colors. Or game air. Those are my favorite. If you really getting and you can see it here, game air. If it's got air in the name of the line or brand of paints, that means it's already sort of pre-thinned for airbrush. And to me, I like that because it's not as thick as the regular paints, and it's a little bit easier. It's sort of pre-thinned and a little bit easier to paint, and you can brush paint them just as well as use it as in an airbrush. Now, I did these red because I want to stay within a matching 3 to 4 color scheme. And so for the yellow, we're going to use that sun yellow primer from Vallejo. For the red, we're going to be using the gory red like we are here. And for the green portions, that's going to get as close to this green that's already existing in them is this olive green from Model Air Vallejo. Now Vallejo has 2 different lines. They have Game Air and Model Air. Game Air, the colors are usually the bright, vibrant stuff for gaming miniatures and stuff like that. Whereas the Model Air is more of your military-based colors, more for like model planes, military models, and stuff like that. So although they get thin, I'm guessing to about the same consistency. The Model Air is more of like your dark olive drabs, your aircraft grays, and then the game would be your more vibrant one. So I like to go between the two because it creates a nice balance of those 2 types of colors. Now on Ripcord, I decided that I wanted to make his tiger stripes red. So what I did was I did 1 pass of that gory red on there, and I'm going to do another one, and that's how those tiger stripes look. I don't want them super vibrant because they are also Night Force, and like I said, I want them to be able to be displayed with both. So I want a minimal amount of bright colors on these 2 guys. With Glinda, what I've decided, and I haven't gotten to her yet, is that I'm going to paint the gray leotard this red color, but I'm going to do it in a fashion to where I leave her tiger stripes this same gray. So the way that it's going to be different. The way that on these I made the stripes. On this one, I'm going to make the shape of the stripes. So it's almost going to be like a reverse coloring part of that, or a way of doing that. And so I'm going to stay just using these 3 colors in all of these, so then that way they all sort of match, but then they also sort of, are going to still look semi-respective of their initial sub-teams and be able to keep all of their paint apps and stuff like that. Now, another thing that I'd always wanted is, and I wanted I wanted a helmet for Wild Bill, and I wanted to be able to paint it in the the bright, loud Tiger Force colors. And so when I did mine, I did not use the helmet for Glinda, because I like the way that she looks with her headset on, since she's going to be, she's sort of the co-pilot and all that kind of stuff. So with mine, I just threw my helmet in the parts box, but I am going to paint it because I realized that you could put, when you take his hair off, the helmet fits perfectly on Wild Bill. So if you want him displayed in the cockpit in his helmet and not his cavalry hat, I think that'll be a much better look. And so I am going to turn this into Wild Bill's helmet, to where I paint it, like I said, with the matching Tiger Force color scheme. With a lot of these other guys, I got to figure out where to put the yellow, especially with these two. With Ripcord, since he's already got the green and a lot of his accessories, and we're going to be doing, he's obviously got the black of his flight suit, and we're going to use the red to make the stripes all the way out throughout his flight suit. That's going to mimic the same pattern as Wild Bill's. Where would we put the yellow? And I don't want a tremendous amount of yellow, because I don't want it to overwhelm the subdued colors of him. Excuse me. So what I've decided is I'm going to paint his sort of harness and rigging. This is what's going to be painted yellow. So he's going to be black with the red stripes, and then this yellow on top is going to pop on top of that black. And I'm not going to paint it completely yellow. I'm going to be painting the stripes yellow, but like his pistol holster, this thing for his breather, some of these pads on the strap, they are going to stay green. So we still have a decent amount of green, and we find a good color balance. So it's really just going to be the straps that are going to be painted this the sun yellow, to give it that bright look. So then that way the colors match. For Crazy Legs, I haven't quite figured out or decided where I'm going to put his tiger stripes. Now, initially what I thought was, obviously we're going to keep the black, so then that way we don't mess with the joints. But initially I thought, okay, well, I'll leave it black out here, and then inside here where we make it this dark red, this gory red, that I put the Tiger Force stripes in here. And I was going to do the same green, so that, like I said, it'd be nice in that kind of subdued color pattern. And then, just a balancing amount of yellow to all of it. But then I thought, well, if I got this red here, what if I did green tiger stripes out here? And so I have to really kind of think about it, because you have to look at it with things with all of his gear already on him, because that's, you're obviously going to go for a final look. So it might look good while he doesn't have any of those secondary accessories on. Once you put those on and you introduce those colors and that amount of color, it might throw the balance off. So sometimes what I'll do is, once I get to a point and I can't see it, I will seal the paint. I'll clear and seal the paint that's already been painted to protect it, and then I'll reassemble the figure, and I'll look at where I think it's missing or where it should go. Because sometimes you got to put the figure completely back together to see it in its in its completeness, in order to sort of unlock the idea for the last step, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. That's where we're at with the with the progress. Like I said, it's gotten pretty good. I really like the way that red looks in there, because it's also kind of reminiscent of his original release, where he's like gray and reddish, but it's a darker, more subdued red, as opposed to his the brighter red of his original release. Like I said, my biggest, I think, hurdle, I don't want to say hurdle, but what I haven't seen quite yet is all of Glinda. And I know I want to leave these blue. And if you look at, it was Tiger Force Hit and Run, Tiger Force, Tunnel Rat, and maybe Tiger Force Psych Out. I'll have to look again in the international releases. They had a lot of blue, and the Hit and Run, their blue was very similar to this. So I want to keep that, but I don't know what I want to do with the white, because the white is, obviously more for the Commandos Heroicos color scheme, which I still like and want to keep, but I don't know how much white that I want to keep. So that's going to be a challenge. So I think, since I have more of a clear vision of these three guys, that she's going to be sort of towards the last, and because like I said, I just don't know what I want to do with all of that white yet. When I got to make sure that all of the colors stay balanced. Okay, so as we sort of go towards the end of this video, there's what I want to show you how I complete the tiger stripes. So when you saw me do these initially, I was using a thicker brush, a thicker liner brush. Now, once I make that one pass, I'll take an even finer liner brush and I'll palette it and get it loaded nice and well. And as you can see, this one, it still needs another pass in some places, but what I will usually do once I get it to this point is I won't touch those up until it's all the way put together, because a lot of it's going to get covered up with his accessories and stuff, and not even be seen. So when I get to this point, usually that's when I touch them up. But I make the initial shape. The point of this is I usually make the initial shape with a larger liner brush, and then once I have it where I want it, I'll take this smaller brush and I'll go over inside of it to go over the light spots. But then I also use it to drag it out to make the point of the tiger stripe, because it's going to create a finer point, as you can see, than that thicker brush, and give it more of that tiger stripe look. And as you can see, like I did it back here, and you can see the points get nice and thin, and it's got that kind of rough tiger stripe look. So I always go back with a second brush, a smaller brush, and like I said, it gives me the ability to stay within the already painted tiger stripes or whatever it is that you're painting, and then it allows you to pull the end of the tiger stripe out to a nice thin point. And that's what you do. You just got to keep doing that over and over again until you get the paint exactly the way you want, and the shape exactly the way that you want. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's episode. Stay tuned for part 3, where we will show the progress of completing these tiger stripes, figuring out what we're going to do here, and then also their helmets. I do, for some reason, really love the way of the bright yellow helmet with the black stripes, kind of like what Tiger Force, what's his name, Roadblock kind of does. And so I'll probably be doing something like that, something kind of reminiscent of that. Like I said, these are already black, and so I'm gonna figure out a way to paint it yellow and leave the black stripes on it. And then same thing with him. His is green, and I like that green, so I might just be putting red stripes on top of his green helmet to give it that look. But we shall see. All right, so like I said, that's going to be it for part 2. Please stay tuned for part 3 for the next update, and like I said, there'll be a lot more completed, and then we'll get done with this project and move on to the next one. All right, well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please follow Gun Bunny Customs on Instagram, and we'll see you next time.